the blessings and the benefit of what we're up to today. So today's healing session is going to be focusing on three aspects of ourselves because things always come in threes when it comes to programming, coding, and patterning. And we're going to be working with clumsy, awkward, misfit. How appropriate is that?
Get right in.
Yeah, because as empaths and intuitive healers, we've probably spent most of our lifetime in a limited version of who we are. It's like playing the clown or playing the village idiot, whether it's by chance or by choice. We tend to get treated that way. And what it does is it actually invites us to strengthen our self-worth, our self-confidence, and our self-acceptance. So it's a beautiful moment when all of these characters, and that's what they are, show up in our healing journey so that we can address them and thank them and do whatever else is necessary to embrace them just the way they are. Just the way they are, not wishing them away, not judging them, certainly not fearing what it's like when we're in that energy or in that role, but just loving all aspects of ourselves. So, yeah, let's get ourselves into that nice, comfortable position that you can feel at ease and at peace, closing your eyes, using that nice deep breath that we like to take in. So we call in that relaxation energy. Let's start with that. Breathing it into the heart center, into the internal space of your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. Let's fill the entire beingness of our human body with that nice, relaxing energy. Let's call that energy today a softness and a gentleness. And ultimately, as we further through the journey, it will create a peacefulness. Again, just bringing the breath all the way in, and let's make sure it's going right down through the soles of the feet into the earth to get ourselves well grounded and supported. And as we exhale and breathe out, just release any tension, any stress, any of that energy of the why nots. Let's remove the why nots today. Let's just make ourselves in that open-hearted state that allows whatever healing is needed and required to be present and to move freely through our experience. Then a nice deep breath, elevating it all the way up into the mind, into the head, into the pineal and pituitary that play significant roles in any kind of change that we facilitate. Just give gratitude and thankfulness to your mind that it has the ability to step aside, that it can be less active in a healing process. We do need our awareness, we do need clarity, but beyond that, let's task the brain and the mind with just being in a gentle energy of humming. Just humming a gentle song like a spring bird. The mind is kept busy just with that idea and that concept. And we're going to open the perception with the third eye as if it is a camera. And the lens of that camera today, the focus is going to be on those three characters that tend to be very uncomfortable in moments, and in other moments they feel safe. It's all about how we choose to see them and use them as we grow and evolve and change. So let's focus the camera, that is our third eye, and we're going to focus it on the heart center. Let's bring the focus right into the middle of the heart center. And in the middle of that, we're going to open up our very own Merkaba center sanctuary. Your Merkaba is a space and a place. It's like an orb of light. It's only for you. It's your sacred space of healing. Only you can access it. You can invite others in, should that be necessary, but only by request. Otherwise, no energies or entities have any access to your healing sanctuary that we know as our Merkaba. So let's work on the 5 steps that it takes to fully enter into it. Breathing in a nice deep breath of a willingness to experience this journey today. Breathing it in on step 5. Releasing it out and relaxing. Moving to step 4. Deeply breathing in. Opening the heart and the alignment to whatever needs to happen. Your soul knows exactly what is required today. And just breathe out any resistance to that. Step 3. Let's breathe in some gratitude and thankfulness that we are blessed with the skills and abilities to heal ourselves. We have all the tools, the skills, and the willingness to allow it. And if you're feeling anything that is in resistance to that with the out breath, just release resistance to allowing yourself to heal. Moving to step 2. On step 2, we recognize that we are beings of duality, and we know that within duality we have the male aspect of ourselves, which is thought energy, and we have the female energy inside of us that is the feeling or emotion energy. Let's just breathe in a moment where we bring the two together and harmonize them so they can work together today. And as you breathe out, just let go of any doubts that this is even possible. Let it go. Hear yourself saying, I believe, so I can receive. Moving on to step 1. 1 is where the unity and the oneness of Source connects us to the best version of ourselves. And that best version of ourself is Source Self. We are Source and Source is us. It's all one and the same. You cannot divide it. You cannot move away from it or live beyond it. That union and that oneness is ever present. And as you release the breath, just release any doubts that that is possible, that you could possibly be a one energy source. When you breathe, Source breathes. When Source expands, we expand. When love is present, Source and us are all one in that presence. And in the next nice deep breath you're taking in, just hear the words, I come and I enter. And as you breathe out, you will be in your Merkaba orb of healing light. No passcode, no keys, no doors, no walls, just absolute full embodiment and entry into the orb of healing light. And see yourself in that place, in that position where you're floating. You're horizontal in that orb and your body and your being is just floating. You can imagine that it's on the ocean, but if you're able to just float without any support or assistance, that's even better. And allow the healing light of creation to move from your head down to your feet, back up to your head. With each breath in and breath out, move the healing energy up and down your body and your being. And just know that that healing is preparing you for your journey. You may feel the energy of it. You may see colors. Whatever your version of healing energy is, just embrace it in your own personal, unique way. Until the energy begins to slow down as it completes this cleansing and purification, the healing energy will begin to slow down, and then it will come to a standstill. Breathing in the stillness and breathing out oneness. All those feelings that you've been holding inside about your soul, your physical body, anything that inhibits your ability to move or flex or to be agile, to be mobile. This is the time and this is the energy that we will be working with to expand into greater mobility and movement, with a deeper connection to exactly what our body is capable of and not what our mental mind wants to limit it to. And now our body is going to shift from the horizontal position to a vertical position. And you may find that a tunnel of light is coming down from the top of your Merkaba. It may be in exactly the same space, or you may find you need to move to one side or the other. It doesn't matter. Trust your heart knows exactly what position you need to be in as you're simply standing there with information and updated data filtering in from the crown of your head all the way down through your feet, circling in the earth and then rising back up, gathering information, memories, fears, judgments, doubts, worries. All of that is being filtered up and out into the energy field of the universal flow. And as you breathe out, just promise your heart and soul that this is a time when you are willing to really let go of the old ways, trusting that they will be replenished with better ways. Our old ways have served us well. And in the next few breaths, just give gratitude and thankfulness to the old version of you, the old ways, the memories, the issues, the judgments, the fears. Really give thanks for all of them and how they have served to elevate your soul and expand your awareness. It also expands your ability to love yourself. So we'll allow the two energies. The emotional self is now going to move up into the heart center, and the mental self is going to bring its energies into the heart center so that the two can work together. A beautiful sense of oneness, a beautiful sense of I amness. And now we're going to be called upon to open up our will, because the power of the will is what opens the portal to a healing journey. A willingness to move forward, a willingness to change, a willingness to evolve, a willingness to forgive. And as you continue to open that portal, somewhere down the tunnel, you're going to see clumsy you. The one who seems to always be tripping and falling and carrying things that you shouldn't in ways that you shouldn't, and just overall a soft version of chaos. But clumsy you is always a distraction for that very agile and mobile you. Watch clumsy you and observe some of the antics or the shenanigans that Clumsy You has been into or participated in. You may even imagine them as a cartoon character if it brings more lighthearted spirit and energy to this healing. Imagine Clumsy You on a good day. Now imagine Clumsy You on a bad day. Imagine Clumsy You on an important day. And then let's imagine Clumsy You on a day where you really say, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And see what that version of you is like. Now, here is where the healing journey becomes your own unique form of mastery. Do you feel the need to go to where Clumsy is? Or do you feel the need for Clumsy to come to where you are? Or are you willing to meet them part way out of respect and honor of the role they played? You get to choose. But as you make that choice, and as you continue to look down that hallway, that tunnel of light, the library of books that is our Akasha Records mental mind is on the right, rows and rows of books and events and circumstances, experiences where Clumsy played a role. And on the left side is all the emotional reactions and drama and trauma that was manifested through Clumsy's efforts to teach you about patience and tolerance. So as you're looking at those two walls of books and Clumsy is coming forward towards you, or you are moving towards Clumsy, the books that are relevant to your healing, these aspects of you, are literally going to fall off the shelf, right into the pathway in front of you. As many as it is needed, as many as you are allowing. If you want all of Clumsy to be cleared and healed today, be willing to allow all of the books that are relevant to that role fall onto the floor. Now, there may only be a few, or there can be piles of them. As Clumsy and you are moving forward and still coming together, allow yourself to step on the books. But as you do, use your energy of reverence and respect for what it represents, so that that volume or that book or that experience can elevate you and lift you and support you and strengthen you with every step. When you step on that book, it elevates you and raises you up. Feel the energy of that. Feel the strength that is building with each book that you step on. And the moment you receive the gift of strength, as soon as you receive the blessing of healing, the book will disappear. But you don't fall. You simply float. And keep going until the two of you, Clumsy and you, are standing on one final, big volume, heavy, old, ancient, tired, worn out, threadbare book. It's big enough for the two of you to stand on together. Except that this is the most important of all, because this volume, this version, has everything that you need to complete the karmic process and journey you've been on. Stand on it with great honor and blessings, acceptance, And in your mind, think, how precious is this moment? How precious is Clumsy? How precious am I? And you both fall into the book. And in that book, in the brief moment when you land, there's darkness everywhere. And judgment and fear will want to cloud your version and your vision of what is taking place. Remember, you have the spark of the divine within you. And now that Clumsy is working with you, and in the last few breaths of her existence, she's helping you release and love this version of you for everything that she has taught you, everything that you've experienced, everything that you've endured. She's willing to bow in front of you and say thank you for allowing me to play this role. Now reach out and lift her up and hold her close to your heart. Hold her close to your body and just give thanks for the role she was willing to play, where you learned a lot. And the moment you bring her in and embrace her in your heart, the book around you disappears. And there you are standing in the light of creation. But now you have this new energy that is heart-centered. It's an energy that helps you flow and float, feeling feminine and divine, feeling strong, feeling sure, confident, holding your head a little higher. And as you continue to take steps forward, you will feel very much the strength of balance and harmony and peace within. Anything that you approach, your feet are able to manage and walk with confidence and ease. Source will place something in front of you that the old you, that old version of Clumsy, would have tripped on or tripped over. Just look at that obstacle and know that now that you have awareness and you have clearer sight, you know exactly what to do with that obstacle. You love it. You embrace it. You accept it, no matter what it is. And immediately the obstacle is removed. And this is the journey and this is the pathway that your soul is now taking you on. To be an observer of obstacles, but knowing that now that you are very brave and sure and secure of every step, every thought, every feeling, you can navigate it easily and effortlessly. And it becomes a joyful adventure instead of a path of enduring hurtful experiences. Any hurtful experiences that are still laying on the floor, if there's any there, bless them, love them, and watch them disappear. And now the light at the end of the tunnel is filling the tunnel, and it's filling you. It's carrying you back into your Merkaba center so that you can now work with awkward you. Awkward you is that part of us that feels out of place. We don't fit in. We don't belong. We're not understood. We're not welcomed. We're not wanted. So we enter into our day and into our energy journeys always feeling a little awkward, uncomfortable. And it's time for that to change. It's time for that to heal. So we will take that persona of awkward, thinking the word, bringing it into the heart center, shining that light down the tunnel, the hallway, the walkway, and see awkward you at the end. That awkward you that likes to avoid relationships and events, circumstances that are uncomfortable, circumstances where you know you don't fit in. What does awkward you look like? Will awkward you even look at you? Or is awkward you looking away to one side or the other, or completely standing with their back to you? It doesn't matter. Awkward you is a blessing, and awkward you is here for healing. So again, we're going to ask that beautiful library that's on either side, all the books, all the events, all the circumstances, all the moments when we have felt awkward, and there's a lot of them. Allow the books from the right, which is your thoughts about being awkward, and the books from the left about feeling awkward. They're going to come flying off the shelf in honor of this moment that you have commanded a healing. And awkward you is at the other end, not paying attention at all. As a matter of fact, they're trying to avoid this moment. Just send love. Just accept that that is how awkward is. That part of you has a certain behavior, has a certain attitude, has a certain elevated, or well, we call it descended state or version of themselves that doesn't want help. Let's just love them anyway. And start the journey of walking on the books. Stepping where you need to, where you're guided to. But remember, when you step on a book, bless it with love and gratitude. And then it will allow you to go to the next one. Bless it with thankfulness for everything that you learned and all that you gained until it completely disappears. And somewhere at the end of the tunnel, you will start and see a shift and a change in that awkward you. That awkward you is starting to pay attention, not so much because they're more willing, but because they sense and feel you coming. You're making progress. You're dissolving the gap. You're dissolving the differences, the conditions, the limitations. You're dissolving the old thoughts, the old feelings. And you're gathering momentum as you go, because what fills the space with every book that dissolves, you take on the wisdom. You take on the wisdom of what you learned, what you experienced, what you gained, how it benefited you, how it blesses you. And now awkward is really starting to engage. They will look you in the eye now. You may see fear, or you may see fierce. Love them anyway. And just keep going until the two of you are standing in front of each other in whatever part of the tunnel is being shown to you, face to face. Now, in your heart, open your faith in what this means, your faith that all is well, everything can heal. Absolutely all that has taken place is a blessing and a benefit. And lay your hand on the heart of awkward you and say a prayer of gratitude and thankfulness for their willingness to endure all of it, to walk the path, to live the experience, to embody what it felt like and the thoughts and the memories that went with it. Feel your hand on awkward heart and keep holding it there until you can feel the beat of awkward heart starting to come to life in a way that it has never been before. The heart is beating stronger and louder, stronger and louder. And in the next breath that you take, be able to recognize and notice that awkward's heartbeat is now synchronized with yours and yours with awkward. No longer separate, no longer divided, no longer limited, no longer contained or confined, no longer awkward. And the moment you feel that you are no longer required to live in that limited state, awkward merges into your body and your being with such an energy of love and acceptance, confidence, caring, the sense of self-worth is filling your body and your being. And the light from the end of the tunnel is shining right through you now, carrying you back to your chamber of healing. And everything that took place in that tunnel and in that pathway is all cleansed and cleared, shining brightly. You may see crystals, you may see stars, you may see anything as you're drawn back to the chamber for one last part of healing. Back into the center of your chamber, take in a few nice deep breaths of, wow, this is amazing. Wow, I didn't realize that there was that much of me that felt all of that all of the time in every level of my body and my being and every cell of my systems and organs. I had no idea. I just knew that I felt I never fit in and I never belonged. And with that energy and with those thoughts, you're activating the misfit. The misfit never did fit in. They didn't fit into their family. They didn't fit into their community. They didn't fit in the world that was being shown to them as a required environment. Misfit always felt very alone and lonely, even when they were with people, and sometimes even more when they were with people. Misfit was the energy and the epitome of rejection and loneliness. And that is what we will be using in the journey as we, again, we look down the tunnel. This time, Misfit is the one taking the journey. And benevolent you is standing at the other end. As Misfit moves into the hallway, into the tunnel, the same libraries of books that are left that are relevant to this healing are going to be coming out in front, but they're going to float. They are not falling, they're floating. And the books are going to line up between Misfit in your healing chamber and benevolent you at the other end of the tunnel. The books are all lining up. They're coming in from both sides, being carefully positioned and lined up. And you are going to be asked to take the walk of courage. Courage to be able to trust. You will always fit in Creator's world. You will always fit in the world and the energy of love. You will always fit in when it comes to being cherished and adored by the one who created you. And as you walk through the books, recognize the wisdom gained in each and every one of them is being kept and is being embodied inside of you as you walk through all the books, from where you are all the way to benevolent you. It's time for MISFIT to come home to the revelation that MISFIT has always fit in the realms of love and light, because that is who you are, and that is who you reflect, and that is who you embody. Benevolent you is opening their arms and welcoming you now. Feel the love. Feel the acceptance. Feel that MISFIT has been on an incredibly important, personal, and profound journey. Learning to accept that it doesn't matter what or who you are as a creation, you are always love. Allow benevolent you to embrace MISFIT you and hear the words, "Welcome home, my cherished heart and love. Welcome to this world and this reality where everything about you is cherished and adored. This is the moment where karma completes this aspect of your soul." Feel the embrace. And now feel the opening of benevolent you as a light emanates from the body of benevolent you from within. Just feel benevolent you cracking open, and divine you fully united, fully healed, fully aware of who you are, rising up and expanding into every aspect of that tunnel, every aspect of that chamber, every aspect of your world, your celestial world, your galactic world, and now your universal world. You have cracked the code to self-love. Reverently allowing the light that is in your chamber, in your healing Merkaba, to remain. And this time, as you see yourself exiting the chamber, see how you hold yourself a little different. You walk differently. You hold your shoulders up and back differently. Your head is up. Your eyes are alighted. Your heart is beaming. And healthy, happy, holy you is now looking back at you in every moment that you see yourself. See yourself in nature, see yourself in others, see yourself in the circumstances that you are living in from this day forward. And just remember, it's all love and it's all light and it's all beautiful. Stepping out of your chamber, coming back into this moment, and we'll simply count the steps the other way, saying step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and open your eyes when you're ready. That was a long journey today, but I trust it's one that served you well. If anybody is in a place where they would like to share or they're willing to share, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, just enjoy. Just be. Is anyone able to share at this point? Go ahead, Joan.
It was it was lovely. It was meaningful. Um, I was surprised at the resistance in my physical body, especially my legs. I found it very difficult to, normally I just can zone out, but there was a resistance that I don't understand, and it was predominantly in my legs. They were just aching, and I wanted to bounce around. I was making myself like I was fighting myself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, remember, if you took clumsy, awkward, misfit energy out of your body, what would be left? How much would there be left? Probably not a lot. So when that much of us is allocated to a certain frequency or a certain belief system, and we challenge our body to release it, our body's kind of go, oh, wait a minute, that percentage, just a minute, let me calculate that. No, that's too much of me that will be gone or will be different or will change. So that's where resistance tends to come from. Plus, if somebody is still in a position where they're still learning from those personas, they may not be ready or willing to release them. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Legs actually represent the files. Your Akasha record files are in your legs. So all of the old information, the old data, if you thought of yourself as a computer, that would be your database, is your
Really?
legs. So,
Hmm.
yeah, just a little insight into the physical side of it.
Dang.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else?
I'd like to share. Oh,
Hey,
sorry. I think I cut someone off.
no, it's okay.
No? Okay. Okay. That was really awesome. And not the words that I would have thought I needed to hear today, but it was very divine timing as I've been given the message to kind of reinvent myself in terms of letting go of beliefs and junk, basically. And the clumsy one, I was able to really feel it and kind of let go in a really smooth, graceful way. And the next one was awkward, right? That one I felt a little more resistance in my sacral kind of area. And my mind kind of kept just getting distracted, like probably as an avoidance, but I still stayed with it. And it wasn't uncomfortable, but I could feel tears wanting to come out, but like they weren't quite coming out kind of thing. But I just kind of stayed with it with a little more gentleness than normal, which was nice. And then the misfit one was probably had the most Akashic records and books, and like that had the biggest weight to it, I think, the biggest charge. And it was the part that I struggled the most with, I would say, in really feeling a level of acceptance for that part of me, I guess.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like total resistance, but it definitely had, I don't know, it just didn't let go quite the same as the others. So yeah, it was interesting.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
we know that there's parts of our journey where the outcome of what we had hoped for and prayed for is deeply or greatly affected by how confident we are and how we see ourselves as worthy of it or deserving of it, or just in the realm of possibility. that
Mm.
that plays a big role. So it may be one that if anybody didn't feel that you completed it or didn't quite resonate, that's why we record now, so that you can go back and listen to it and see. Maybe next time things will be very different because you will have accomplished.
Sorry, everyone. Okay. Thank you, Donna.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Go
Go ahead, Diane. With Diane Gold.
I felt the three, I guess, I was going to call them people. I don't know if they're people, but the other part of me were waiting to be met.
Yeah.
They were just waiting.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of
And
tired of the old game. It's like there's
they
got to
were
be something
so
better.
tired. So, and they were saying, we've been waiting. And it was just amazing to embrace them
Mhm.
and to just allow them to come in to I found that I can't even describe that. It's just like it melted. They just melted. They just wanted to be so loved
Yeah.
and so accepted. And so you're you're not separate, you're part.
Yeah.
And these lessons that were learned. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't quite, I was amazed to look at it from that perspective, that these were the lessons and they were waiting to be accepted.
But when you consider when we do move into those personas, everything we experience, everything we create has an element of their energy in it, which means it never fully evolves or expands until we pay attention and value and appreciate what that's like. Living a limited version of ourselves, especially as master healers and teachers, um, limited versions is painful. It's difficult, it's challenging, it's hurtful to the extreme. It's not just something where we slip into it, for a little while and test it out or try it out. Once we move into it until we complete it, it affects everything that we do and everything that we are. And then we wonder why we're exhausted all the time. It's like, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, we've got time for a couple more. Who else would like to share? Did anybody meet a part of yourself that was surprising? Like, we'll go with Samina and then we'll go to Catherine. Go ahead, Samina.
Yeah. So I found like I immediately went in, and it was like kind of I was subconscious some of the times, and then I was zoning in and zoning out. But like physically, I felt everything. Like I even felt myself standing tall and like, immediately everything happening to me.
Mhm.
And now I'm feeling that I have done a huge workout.
Yeah.
It's so heavy on me. So I think something must have worked, but I was subconscious, like unconscious.
Yeah.
Some of the time. So that is okay, right?
Well,
So
we record everything. Whether we remember everything is kind of irrelevant. It's
yeah.
always recorded. And on a
Mhm.
cellular level, it will still be doing its little circuit of corrections where needed. So
Yeah.
yeah, good for you. Thank
So
you.
the second thing is when I opened my eyes, even the colors I was looking outside the it seemed everything is more vivid, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, think of it
So
as when we take these filters off, which they are, any kind of distortion of who we are is a filter. So when you take the filter of, clumsy and awkward and misfit, if you take those filters off, all of a sudden you see things from a different place and they are more vivid and there is more energy and flow. That's the amazing part of the healing work and journeys that we do. Yeah,
thank you.
always moving forward. Some days it's tiny, tiny little steps, and other days it's quantum leaps. But we are getting the karmic journey completed, and all the aspects of ourself that played roles need to be appreciated and not rejected or regretted. Just loved and appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Catherine, go ahead.
As usual, your timing is impeccable.
Mhm.
I have had lessons come up the last couple of days. I think tests more is the word. As Mercury retrograde was ending, and these were tests to see if I would fall back in to the same old routines and people. And I was like, no, sorry, I'm busy. I'll talk to you later sometime. Thanks. Bye. And I know the energies have been causing me to not hear as much of the noise so that I can go deeper within. So this really flowed easily, very easily for me.
Yeah.
As my head clears, I see everything clearer because my head has been stuffed up, my ears are plugged that won't pop, and it's all because I needed to go within and sew it through. So this really flowed easily for me, and I just welcomed everything in, and it's given me a sense of being more whole.
Yeah, there isn't any part of us that doesn't deserve to be loved. And it's up to us to allow that. It seems for the most part, we have spent many, many lifetimes searching for someone or something to fill that void. And the whole time we were looking outside of ourselves, the void inside was getting bigger and bigger and bigger until we get to the place where we really can't stand ourselves the way we are. And that's when change usually gets triggered through either a defining moment or a life event that changes or snaps us out of the illusion and presents us with a different direction. So, yeah.
I think what it did for me was it filled in the part where I want to be more into myself and less out into the world where everybody has access.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been searching for a long, long time, is to get more into myself and less dealing with the people out there that are just wanting to waste my time or absorb my time or my energy. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
So now you see why it was so important that we took on the role of misfit. So we didn't fit in the outside world. Didn't matter where we went or what we tried or who we were with. We were not meant to fit in. So being a misfit was actually the role that we chose to make sure we just kept turning back in and back in and back in, because that's all there was. You know, we've spent a lot of time in the rejection game. All right, thanks for sharing, Catherine. Okay, we've got time for one more. Anyone else want to take a moment and share? Did anybody find that they didn't get through on that and that it was a real struggle? No?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
lots
did,
going on in
Donna.
your world, Liz.
Well, I'm purging and packing, and I've only got 13 days left, and I'm at my new address.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found myself first there and then not there, and yeah. Anyway, it's partially because of I'm going to a tiny house, a tiny condo, I should say. But anyway, yeah. So but
Yeah,
grateful.
you'll find a way to fit in where you're going.
I know. I realize that. Grateful, and grateful for the people who are stepping forward. A girlfriend's even coming to stay for 2 nights before. I'm just so grateful.
We're always provided in those moments when we are in need.
I know.
We have served in so many ways, and now it's time for us to open our arms and our heart and our minds to have others step forward and help serve us. And as much as we're really awkward about that, we will now be much more gentle and welcoming.
Yeah. And something kind of crazy weird happened this morning. I was doing more purging and I went into the washroom and I can't walk with my glasses on. That's just the way my body is. And I dropped them on a rug and I didn't realize I dropped them and I stepped on.
Oh.
I had to stop all of what I was doing and go, okay, just calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, just drive to town, go to anyway, they'll have them. Thank goodness I have some old ones, though you're still all a little blurry. They'll have them ready for me again on Tuesday.
Well, a whole new world opening up for you, Liz.
Yeah. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I will love you and leave you with that. I know there'll still be some processing going on. If you can, please take the time to go and rest and relax and just let the energy complete whatever it was that was initiated, and really respect that your body is going through so much right now between the sun flares and the the environment that's going on and just the lack of sunshine, we're really being pressed to physically hold on. And the best way to do that is to keep love burning, keep it flowing, keep it moving. And that will sustain your body when everything else seems perhaps not as vibrant or high frequency as it could be. Make sure you take yourself there because you're worth it. You're more than worth it. Yes, go ahead, Arlene. Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Second. Okay, now
Oh,
can
we
you hear me?
gotcha.
When you were doing the clumsy part, I seen myself falling in that tunnel, whatever you had us in, even before you said the words.
Yeah.
And it came to mind instantaneously what happened to me years ago when I had my horses and I was cleaning the stalls. And I used to put my manure up on a pile. So I had to put a board, like a ramp going up to the top, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pushing the wheelbarrow up the ramp. Halfway up there, I fell. I had a cap on with a peak. I fell. I went down on my knees. The manure came backwards all over top of me. And automatically, what do? Look around, see if anybody's looking, right?
Yeah.
And then I just started laughing.
Yes.
And I got the message, why are you so upset? Like, why were you worried about somebody looking? It was funny. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Just know that we put on quite a show for the angels and guides as they watch us maneuver our day. Yeah. No, this was a journey that I was taken on for because my life I've always been incredibly clumsy. And you know, if there was any way to fall, I would find it.
Yeah.
And my body has sustained a lot of injuries and a lot of, you know, limited movement because of it. And I just wanted it cleared. Like, I want to dance again. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to ride horses. I want to do all these things. And so that version of me that was there for a reason, I just wanted her to know that her job's done.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Donna.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Arlene. I thought I was the only one that had a wheelbarrow full of manure. Oh. And
Yeah.
yes, thank goodness for baseball hats
Yeah.
and showers.
That too.